Let's talk about Social Security. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, financial assets you'll ever have. But you know what? The rules can be incredibly tricky, and making the wrong choice, well, it can be really, really costly. In this explainer, we're going to break down the most common mistakes retirees make so you can avoid them.
First things first, why is this so critical? Why are we even talking about this? Because of this number right here. A staggering 90% of people age 65 and older rely on Social Security benefits. For a lot of them, it's half or even more of their total income. So this isn't just some abstract number. It's the financial bedrock for nearly every single American retiree. And look, the stakes here are just incredibly high. The decisions you make about when and how to file for benefits, they're pretty much permanent. You can't really go back on them. One tiny miscalculation, one little missed opportunity can create a ripple effect, costing you tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars over your retirement. Okay, so how do we dodge these bullets? We've broken it all down into 4 key areas. First, we'll get a handle on just how big this decision is. Then, we'll dive into the most common timing trap, uncover some hidden rules and unclaimed money, and finally, we'll look at the biggest mistake of all, not seeing the whole picture.
I want you to think about it this way. For a typical couple, the total Social Security benefits they're going to receive over their lifetime can easily top $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. This isn't just another box to check. It's one of the most important financial decisions you will ever make for your future.
All right. This leads us right into the first and honestly the most common category of mistakes. Almost a third of all retirees claim their benefits the second they can, right at age 62. But is that really the best move? Let's take a look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers here. It's so clear. If your full benefit at age 67 is $2,000 a month and you decide to claim early at 62, that check is permanently reduced to about $1,400. That's a $600 difference every single month. Do the math over 20 years, and that single decision could cost you over $144,000. Okay, so this all hinges on knowing one critical thing: your full retirement age, or what they call FRA. A lot of people just assume it's 65, but that's a classic mistake. For anyone born in 1960 or later, it's actually 67. Claiming it's 65 because you think that's your full retirement age is a classic timing trap. It's super easy to check your specific FRA. Just go to the Social Security Administration's website, ssa.gov. But here's the kicker. The magic doesn't stop at your full retirement age. For every single year you wait to claim, all the way up to age 70, your benefit grows by a guaranteed 8%. I mean, you literally cannot find a risk-free return like that anywhere. By just waiting until you're 70, you can boost that monthly check by 24% for the rest of your life.
Okay, so we've nailed down timing. But believe it or not, that's only half the battle. The next set of mistakes involves just not knowing the rules or overlooking benefits you're totally entitled to. This is where we start talking about leaving money on the table.
Now this is a huge one. So many people miss out on this. Social Security isn't just based on your own work record. If you're married, or if you were divorced after a marriage that lasted at least 10 years, or if you're widowed, you might be eligible for benefits based on your spouse's or ex-spouse's record. And here's the most important part. You claiming these benefits does not reduce their check one single penny. It's just unclaimed money that you are owed.
All right, here's another one of those hidden rules that can really catch you by surprise. It's called the earnings test. It affects people who decide to keep working while collecting benefits before their full retirement age. If you earn over a certain limit, the government will temporarily hold back some of your benefits. Now, you do get it back later, but it can be a major shock to your budget if you're not ready for it.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to really think about this. Your benefit is calculated using your 35 highest earning years. But what if the government's record of your earnings has a mistake? Think about it. An employer could have made an error. Maybe a name change messed things up. Any little mistake can lower your average and permanently shrink your benefit check. The good news is fixing this is super simple. You can do it today. Just go to ssa.gov, set up an account, and pull up your entire earnings history. If you see something wrong, report it right away. It's way easier to fix now than later.
And that brings us to our final point, which honestly might be the most important one of all. It's the mistake of treating Social Security like it exists in a bubble, completely separate from the rest of your retirement plan. So part of seeing that big picture is getting real about longevity. A lot of people claim early because they're worried they won't live long enough to make waiting pay off.
But here's the thing. People are living longer than ever before. The key is to make an informed decision based on your health and your family history, not just a guess. A longer life is exactly when that bigger monthly check really helps.
And then there are taxes. Yeah, this is the surprise no one wants. Your Social Security benefits can actually be taxable. It all comes down to what the IRS calls your combined income. Basically, they take half of your Social Security benefits and add it to all your other income, like from a 401k or a pension. If that total number crosses a certain line, then, bam, a chunk of your benefits get taxed. It's a perfect example of why you can't plan for Social Security in a vacuum.
And that leads to this number, which you have to remember. Social Security was never, ever designed to be your only source of income when you retire. On average, it's only built to replace about 40% of what you were earning before you retired. And this is what that looks like in the real world. If you were making $70,000 a year, Social Security might only give you about $28,000. That leaves a massive $42,000 gap you've got to fill with your savings and investments. The best way to think about it is this. Social Security is the foundation of your retirement house, but it was never meant to be the entire house. Look, after decades of hard work, you've earned every penny of these benefits. The choices you make now are going to stick with you, so getting the rules and building a real strategy is absolutely essential. The real question isn't just about when to claim, it's about how you're going to make this powerful asset work for you to secure the retirement you deserve.